Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be looking at solving a practice problem that you might see on an assignment or a test, looking at a price ceiling and deadweight loss. With that said, let's get into it. So let's begin by looking at our problem. Demand and supply in the market for bus fare in a city are given by the following equations. QD, or quantity demanded, is equal to 2,400 minus 500p, and quantity supplied is equal to 300p. Part A asks us what is the market equilibrium price and quantity. Part B says suppose the government decides that a fare is too high and imposes a price ceiling at $2.50 per bus trip. How many bus trips will be taken after the price ceiling is implemented? And finally, Part C will ask what is the deadweight loss created by this price ceiling. So in this video, I will go by a step-by-step solution for this entire problem, A, B, and C. Assuming no prior knowledge, everything will be explained in the video. Let's begin with Part A. What is the market equilibrium price and quantity? Well, to solve this, we need to look at our two equations, the QD and QS equations given to us in the question. And we know that in equilibrium, QD is equal to QS. That is, that quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. And if that's the case, then I can just set these two equations equal to one another. So QD equals QS. And if I set those equations equal, then 2,400 minus 500p is equal to 300p. If I rearrange, I can get 2,400 is equal to 300p plus 500p. Simplifying further, 2,400 is equal to 800p, and then dividing both sides by 800 yields me 3 for p, and therefore I know that my equilibrium price, or p star, is $3. But what do I do with p star to get q star? Well, I can sub it into either the QS or the QD equation. It doesn't actually matter which one. And just to show you that it doesn't matter, I will actually sub it into both and show you that it gets the same answer either way. So it really doesn't matter if you sub it into quantity demanded or quantity supplied. Let's start with quantity supplied since it's much easier. So if I sub in 3 for P, then I will get quantity supplied is equal to 300 times 3, which is obviously 900. But what if I sub it into the demand equation? Well, 2,400 minus 500 times 3 is 2,400 minus 1,500, which is, you guessed it, still 900. So it's safe to say that no matter which equation I sub it into, I'm going to get the same value for Q, and that Q star or Q equilibrium value is 900 bus trips. And so there's the answer for Part A. P star or P equilibrium is equal to $3, and Q star or Q equilibrium is equal to 900. Now let's take a look at question B. Suppose the government decides that the fare is too high and imposes a price ceiling at $2.50 per bus trip. How many bus trips will be taken after this price ceiling is implemented? Well, for this question, I'm going to give you the same advice that I give my in-person students, and that is to draw it out. So I'll start with my axes, my supply and demand equations, and then I label everything. So price on the vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal axis, the demand curve is in red sloping down, the supply curve is in blue sloping up, and I have my P star and Q star, or my equilibrium point, labeled. But from Part A, I actually know what my P star and Q star are, so I'm going to sub in those values. You'll see now my equilibrium is $3 and 900 bus trips. Now it's time to introduce my price ceiling, which is at $2.50. Once again, this is just given to me in the problem. And now I need to find what quantity will be consumed in the market. So you'll notice that the price ceiling intersects the supply and demand curves at two different points. And so you might be wondering, well, which point do I use? Well, a simple rule of thumb in economics is when you're dealing with a market that is in disequilibrium, you will always consume at the short side of the market. What's the short side? Well, if you draw a line from Q star or Q equilibrium, it would be the point that intersects on the left-hand side, which is strictly lower than the equilibrium quantity. So as you can see here, the short side is the left-hand side of equilibrium, and that gives us the intersection of the supply curve and the price ceiling. So I'm looking for this value right here, and that's what we're going to solve now. It's actually much simpler than you might think. We're going to take our supply equation, which is representing the supply curve on the graph, and its QS is equal to 300p. We're going to take the price ceiling price and substitute it in for P. That's going to yield us 300 times $2.50, which is the price ceiling, And then QS, or quantity supplied, is equal to 750. And that is my answer. That's how much will be consumed in the market when the price is $2.50. And so I can substitute that in right here on the bottom as 750. And that's part B finished. So now all I have left is to calculate the deadweight loss. And so part C is simply asking me to do that once there is a price ceiling in place. So let me look back to my graph and see what important values I need to consider. Well, I have my 750, and I'm going to draw this line all the way up to the demand curve. I'm going to make a point here, and I'm going to follow it to the price axis. This is my new critical value, or the value that I'm looking to solve for. And how do I do that? Well, I'm going to take the demand curve, which is represented by the equation QD is equal to 2,400 minus 500p, and I'm going to substitute a quantity of 750 in. Rearranging this equation gives me 500p is equal to 2,400 minus 750, and then simplifying further, 500p is equal to 1,650, and dividing both sides by 500 will give me a p-value of $3.30. And so that's the price that I can substitute on my price axis. Now you might know from your economics class or some of our other videos that the deadweight loss is calculated as the total loss in producer and consumer surplus added up, or the loss of total surplus, and that's represented by this yellow triangle right in the middle. So we need to calculate the area of this triangle to find our deadweight loss. Well, recall that the area of a triangle has a formula of base times height divided by 2. So we're going to say that deadweight loss equals the base times height of this triangle divided by 2. And you might notice that the base is right here. It's the difference between $3.30 and $2.50. And the height of the triangle is right here. It's the difference between a quantity of 750 and a quantity of 900. So if I take these differences, it yields me the following. 0.8, which is the difference between $3.30 and $2.50, times the height, which is 150, and that's just the difference between 900 and 750 divided by 2. Simplifying the top, I get deadweight loss is equal to 120 divided by 2, and then finally deadweight loss is equal to $60. And that's my solution. So that's all three sections, A, B, and C, solved for you step by step. If you found this video helpful, let us know by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and of course, let us know in the comments section what sort of economic topics or homework questions you'd like to see us cover in the future. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the next.